Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton and beyond. This week, Sabrina Jaquet of Switzerland chats to us about the demands of women's singles as we learn more about her dedication to the sport. And we report on the recent BWF World Coaching Conference held in Scotland.
When I started also in the senior circuit, I would have never dreamed or never thought of going so far. Actually, it was like more, okay, it's nice to be on tour, and I saw every player playing at such a high level. I never thought I could achieve it. And then over years, you just go to tournaments and you see, okay, that's maybe possible to reach this level. And then you go always further and further, and I just still today, actually, I'm 30 and I still want to achieve more, actually. So that's like, I took every steps one by one over years, and yeah.
Sabrina Jaquet is Switzerland's #1 women's singles player. Currently ranked 30th in the world ranking, badminton has been part of her life for close to 2 decades. Born and raised in La Chaux-de-Fonds, about 70 kilometers away from capital city Bern, Sabrina came from a sports-loving family. She picked up the racket sport at 12 years old and began to hone her skills at a local club.
It was in a club, La Chaux-de-Fonds, in my hometown, and they got a good club in Switzerland. They also played the first league in Switzerland, so it was like there were some players like role models for me. I did my whole way first in the club, and then I went to the national team with 17, 18, and then I'm practicing there for 13 years now.
Sabrina has been one of her country's top players, regularly capturing the national title in both singles and doubles. The dream, however, is to find success on the international level. But with badminton not as established as the nation's popular sports such as football and ice hockey, resources are modest.
It's not enough, that's for sure, but the support is getting better from the federation. We have a support and we have to use it for tournaments, but directly when you go overseas, you go to Asia or America, it's really expensive, so we have to find our own support and sponsors. But like in Switzerland, it's divided like in every region. You can get support from the region, and every player are looking for this support. And but it's really a tough story, actually. Every player has to look for themselves, actually.
But the challenges have proved to make the Swiss player more driven to chase her dreams. Determined to fly the Swiss flag at sport's biggest stage, Sabrina decided to focus on the singles event and worked hard to qualify for the London 2012 Olympics. Although she didn't get past the group stage, the experience of participating in the Olympics made her hungry for more, and she proudly represented her country in Rio 4 years later.
Like Olympics, I think for every athlete it's a dream to be part of this big event. And I learned so much from this experience. In 2012 in London, it was really new for me. I was really stressed on court, and when I came out, I was, okay, I want to be there in 4 years, then to do it better. And I did it a bit better, but not like I wanted to, and in 2016 in Rio. But it was still a really good experience, really good event, an amazing experience, actually. And now my goal is to go further and try for 2020, Tokyo.
2016 became a turning point in Sabrina's badminton career. It had been a long time coming for the singles player, and the Swiss shuttler began to taste success after a confidence-boosting experience in Rio. At the Swiss International, Sabrina took her first step on top of the winner's podium, and the fact that she achieved her first title at home made the moment sweeter.
It didn't start so well because the first half year it was still Olympic qualification, and I got quite stressed, and I just qualified really close, and I was really not happy with the level I was playing, and I didn't get much confidence. But then I went to Rio, I did okay there, I got some confidence back, and then suddenly after Rio I could just enjoy my game. I told me, okay, now I want to enjoy, I don't want to put myself too much pressure anymore. I was really happy to win my first title because I'm not the youngest one anymore. So I won my first title with 29. So I was like, okay, I'm not one of these players never winning a title on tour. And then I won this title, and then I think I got a bit released from it, and I just could go on a good level. And then I finished second at the Scottish Open here in that hall. So it was really one of the biggest achievements I did so far. And then I won Italian Open 1 month later. So it was the best year actually in my career.
Sabrina's good performance continued in 2017, where she became the first Swiss player to medal at the European Championships. The shuttler defeated England's Fontaine Chapman in the quarter-final, and even though she lost to Scotland's Kirsty Gilmore in the semis, it was enough to secure Sabrina the bronze medal.
And then everything went really, really fast, and I could finally get my best performance on court. It was also one of my biggest goals over years, but then I just did it there, and it was really nice.
Not known to many, Sabrina had been carrying an injury since November last year. So after her exploits at the European Championships, she took 4 months off to recuperate. And her first tournament since the break was at the recent Total BWF World Championships.
I was playing for many months, with this injury, until the European Championships actually. And then after that, I told myself I cannot go on like that, because I need to heal it. And for these championships, I was not actually sure to be ready for it, but I did it, yeah.
Sabrina has enjoyed every moment of her badminton journey so far. And if there was one thing she could have changed, it was to have started her career earlier.
My only regrets is maybe to have started so late to focus full time on badminton. I did it quite late with 23. And when I see young players already with 15, 16s going like crazy, really focusing on badminton, that's maybe my only regret, but we cannot go back.
This Swiss shuttler has more to give, and she looks ahead with renewed ambition and zest for the racket sport. A fighter on court, it is without doubt that Sabrina Jaquet is a warrior in more ways than one. Time to test your badminton knowledge. In this week's trivia, we want you to name the first ever Japanese pair in all doubles categories to win at their home event in the Japan Open. We're off to a break, so have a think and we'll reveal the answer when we return. After the break, we find out how coaches were expanding their knowledge at the recent BWF World Coaching Conference. With digital innovations, shuttle time is now more fun, engaging and accessible than ever. So get connected to BWF's Badminton Schools program. Find out more about BWF's grassroots initiatives on these platforms. Download the app, visit the website and get active on Facebook. Your gateway to shuttle time has never been so easy. Before the break, we asked you to name the first ever Japanese pair in all doubles categories to win at their home event in the Japan Open. The answer is Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi. The land of the rising sun had to wait 32 years to claim their first ever Japan Open doubles crown since the competition's inception in 1982. In 2014, Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi took down compatriots Reika Kakiiwa and Miyuki Maeda in 2 games, claiming their maiden World Superseries crown in the process. Currently ranked world #1s and bronze medalists at the Total BWF World Championships 2017, the Japanese pair are a force to be reckoned with in women's doubles. Coaches play an instrumental role in the growth and development of badminton. Whether it's encouraging the future generation to play the sport or developing players at the elite grade, they are vital at all levels to the success of badminton. The BWF have been helping to enhance coaching capabilities through the World Coaching Conference, the latest edition of which was held in Glasgow recently during the Total BWF World Championships.
Historically, the first World Coaching Conference was in 1987 in Malmo, but it's been something that's been on and off. It's not been a continual process, and it's something over the last few years with all the development work we've been doing that we've wanted to bring back. And certainly this year we've focused on trying to up the level of delivery. We've got a very high level of expert come in this time, and we're really trying to put more focus back on it, to focus on the work we're doing and trying to promote the work we're doing and the research that we're doing to back up the educational process.
With coaches from over 28 nations in attendance, it's the largest coaching forum which the BWF have organised to date. In Glasgow, experts from within badminton circles and beyond presented on current and future developments in badminton.
I've been to many conferences over the years, and they tend to be quite similar in nature. So what we've tried to do is, rather than looking purely at the badminton, and most of these coaches will know badminton, we've tried to look at some of the research that's been going on, some of the research that BWF have been funding, various projects, to try and give the coaches a broader knowledge of what's happening and give them some more underpinning science to what they're doing.
The BWF are committed to developing coaches globally, and spreading the benefits of specialist knowledge has been an essential part of their efforts. As such, there was a high-quality lineup of keynote speakers covering several important aspects of the sport at the two-day coaching conference.
Well, we'll try and pick a general theme. So the general theme this time was player development, but alongside supporting science that supports that aspect of the sport. So we picked the theme. We've obviously got a really good network of expert coaches. We have contact with all of the top national coaches, and we've got some of them here. We've got a good network of ex-players, and the idea is to try and get a blend. So added to that blend this time, rather than, as I say, keeping it purely badminton based, we brought in some sports scientists with some different ideas to try and make the coaches think a little bit more about what they actually do on a day-to-day basis, and maybe try and impact a little bit and give them some different ideas to try.
Hearing especially the talk about the biomechanics, how the smash is analyzed with its movement, and testing all these top professional badminton players, and see the differences and how I can use this data to improve players in my country.
While traditional methods of coaching have been tried and tested, pushing the boundaries and challenging accepted practices can only help the sport positively. And broadening their knowledge in areas such as building character, in the development of players, and the various mental aspects of the game were well received.
We're seeing more and more technically good players from less developed countries, shall we say. Technically, physically, they're good. When they get into those international competitions, they don't know how to deal with it. So the mental aspect of the game is really critical, and having the character to walk onto court and deal with the situation, in a world champ say, is really critical. So we have put quite a lot of emphasis on, in this conference on the mental side of the game.
We can listen in different things to analyze our evolution and also the game from different way, and also from the technical part, tactical part, but also from the mental part, the character. We're talking about how to manage your player, understanding your player, how to develop the personality of your player. That's not approached much before. I think now they're more into this kind of thing. I think it's really good.
I've heard over the last 2 days that we can't just concentrate on the physical abilities of players. We should look at developing them and their mental abilities, bringing up their self-confidence, their self-esteem. So that's something I'm going to concentrate on, especially I'm working with junior players, I'm working with kids. So I'm going to try really hard from now on and bring on their confidence as players and as young people.
The conference also offered a platform to network with coaches from other countries. It was an excellent opportunity to exchange experiences, ideas, and share best practices.
There's so many knowledgeable people that are here that are willing to give advice, sharing, and a lot of the things that are said and learned and the takeaways are from this networking.
The BWF are determined to develop the knowledge, expertise, and skills of the global coaching network. And the World Coaching Conference is a fine example of providing opportunities for coaches to access world-class education and professional development. After the break, we meet an enthusiastic youngster from Uzbekistan aspiring to become a professional badminton player. Get connected with us on social media. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and tell us what you think of the latest news. Or perhaps you just want to leave an encouraging post for your favorite player on Facebook. If you've got any comments or photos, share them with us on these social media platforms. The MetLife BWF World Superseries circuit resumed in East Asia last week at the Daihatsu Yonex Japan Open. The tournament's top-seeded women's doubles pair, Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi, opened proceedings on finals day to take on Kim Hana and Kong Hee-young of Korea. The opening game began with a tight contest, but it was the Japanese Olympic champions who did enough to edge out their opponents to take the first game. The world number one duo quickly picked up from where they left off in the second, leaving their opponents with no room to plot a revival. After 56 minutes, it was all over. Matsutomo and Takahashi sealed the match and claimed their second Japan Open title of their careers. 21-18, 21-16, the final score. Over in men's doubles, Marcus Fernaldi-Gideon and Kevin Sanjaya Sokomoljo were up against the home favourites, Takuto Inui and Yuki Kaneko. Having finished as runners-up in Korea last week, the number 3 seeds Gideon and Sokomoljo were keen not to come up short this time around. The All England champions were men on a mission in the opener and silenced the crowd as they took the first game with ease. The narrative continued in the following game, with the Indonesians in dominating form to win their 4th World Superseries title of the year. The final result read 21-12, 21-15. Up next was the mixed doubles final, and China's Wang Yilu and Huang Dongping took on Japan's Takuro Hoki and Sayaka Hirota. The Chinese combination started well and were soon in the driving seat to snatch a 1-0 lead. Their opponents Hoki and Hirota desperately searched for a response in the second game, but were simply outclassed by the fine form of Wang and Huang. The world number 9 duo followed up their runners-up finish in Korea with a maiden World Super Series title here. 21-13, 21-8, the final score. Hoping to emulate the success of her compatriots was Herping Jiao as she faced the reigning Olympic champion Carolina Marin in the women's singles contest. The opener was an intense skirmish, with the lead exchanging hands several times. In the end, it was her who blinked first, and Marin wasted no time to take home the first game. She ended the match in straight games to win her first World Super Series title of 2017. 23-21, 21-12 was the final result. Men's singles was the finale, and it saw a mouth-watering clash between newly crowned world champion Victor Axelsen taking on Malaysian superstar Lee Chong-wei. Danish ace Axelsen took early command of the opening game and ran riot against Lee, who struggled to keep pace with his younger opponent. However, the former world number 1 used his experience to good use in the second, and caught up with the Scandinavian, forcing the match to a decisive third game. And it was there that Axelsen reminded the fans why he was the reigning world champion. Showing no mercy with his aggressive attacks, the Dane pegged back any aspiration of a Malaysian comeback. Axelsen proved unstoppable as he went on to claim another famous scalp with this victory. The final score, 21-14, 19-21, 21-14 to the Dane. Badminton Unlimited have, in earlier episodes, featured Central Asian nations such as Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and most recently, Uzbekistan. Although badminton in these countries is at the developmental stage, and many of them have limited resources, that has not deterred their shuttlers from dreaming big. This week, we learn more about an aspiring 17-year-old, Abdurasul Kojayev from Uzbekistan.
Over the last few years, I had shown good results in the Republic Championships and Republic Cups. In my age group, I was the Republic champion for the boys singles and doubles categories. That was the reason I was selected to represent the Uzbekistan national team, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
Although he has been exposed to a variety of sports at a young age, Kojayev fell in love with the shuttle game when he was just 8 years old. His passion was the driving force that has enabled him to progress over the years. The budding shuttler thrived on the local scene, and it wasn't long before the national team took notice and came knocking in need of his services.
What I like most about the training and exercise is how it focuses on a variety of techniques, tactics, and physical abilities.
Soon after national selection, the young Uzbek was given the glorious opportunity to represent his country when the national team participated in the Badminton Asia Under-19 Team Championships 3 years ago. Although Uzbekistan did not progress past the group stage, the experience of rubbing shoulders with some of the top Asian nations was more than a satisfying experience for Kojayev.
My first competition was in 2014 at the Badminton Asia Youth Under-19 Championships in Chinese Taipei. I was very proud that I was given the honor to represent the colors of the national flag of Uzbekistan at such an early age.
Kojayev currently plays in 3 categories: boys singles, doubles, and mixed. And the teenager has plans to focus on the singles discipline in the future.
I would want to concentrate on singles because you don't need to take responsibility for your partner. We are encouraged to take part in every discipline so that we can gain more experience.
Kojayev is also the second best boys singles player in the country and the #1 ranked in the doubles categories. The teenager's first international breakthrough was in Kazakhstan last year, where he captured 2 bronze medals.
My first achievement was at the Apex Kazakhstan Junior 2016, where I played boys doubles with Timur Turakanov. We gave our best in that match, but we were only able to finish in 3rd place. The next match I competed in was the mixed doubles, and I was partnered with Shirin Shavkatova. We gave our all, and after an intense match, we grabbed another bronze for our country. That was a very proud moment, not just for me, but for Uzbekistan as well.
Just like any other player looking to break into the top flight of the sport, there are always obstacles to encounter. The lack of facilities and equipment has been one of the main difficulties the national team has faced over the years. But with growing support from the Uzbekistan Badminton Federation and Badminton Asia, things are looking up.
All badminton players in Uzbekistan face the same challenge, and that is the lack of playing equipment. We also do not have a badminton hall that is suited to accommodate an international competition. However, this year, we were given enough equipment from the Uzbekistan Badminton Federation, and we also got some sponsorship from Badminton Asia. I have nothing but gratitude towards our Badminton Federation and as well as to the management of Badminton Asia for assisting us.
In a country where badminton is still in its fledgling years, it will take time for the sport to develop. And with dedication and passion dictating his desire for success, Jaquet remains optimistic about his ambitions to excel in the sport.
The badminton in Uzbekistan is not developed, but we are slowly progressing. I dream of competing at the Olympics and World Championships and to become the first Uzbek to win those titles.
Let's take a look at the tournaments coming up in the next few weeks in our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week, the Total BWF World Championships 2017 Women's Singles Champion Nozomi Okuhara gives us an insight into her golden performance in Glasgow. See you next week.